Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting from the Valiant Theatre in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy Tenderloin, just around the corner from Old Market Square, where all the Fringe Fest stuff is happening right now, unless you're watching this in the future. And I don't know what's happening right now. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Kelly Hughes Live Shorts, Fringe 2025. I've got some great guests. Very excited. Patrick Hercamp and François Le Truffle.
François Le Foutre.
Oh, very close.
Yes. It's like you're saying foot rub, but with a banana in your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that so often. And Willhelm. Thanks so much for coming by. And we've got Patrick had to scrawl his out on a piece of paper. Where's your thing, man?
My show is at Son of Warehouse, Venue 5, and I'll be performing. Last year I did Shakespeare, which was me performing Hamlet in about 30 minutes as a one-man show in a pantomime style. This year I'll be doing Macbeth, or since we're in technically a venue, I guess the Scottish play.
No, I want to know why you don't have a flyer. Are you just so good that you don't need the flyer? And
This is my 15th Fringe. I don't have any posters. I don't have any flyers. Yeah. I come from a Renaissance festival background where it's calling out and hawking. So I'll say,
okay,
this way to a show, we have free beer, hot men, and false advertising. Come see the show, my father won't. That sort of thing. Or what's my favorite one? Oh, come see the show that critics are calling a thing that happened. So yeah.
Okay. So you've got you don't need a piece of paper. You got your thing.
I think so.
You got your thing. François,
I apparently do need a piece of paper.
Yeah, and you've got a nice piece of paper here. You are doing François Le Foutre, Raunchy Romp with the Raging Queen.
That's right.
A gay pirate romance adventure, which is opening on the 17th, 4:45 at the Asper Center, which is a lovely air-conditioned venue.
Yes,
So that's good. And Willhelm's doing Gender Play, or What You Will. And that is more Shakespeare business.
More Shakespeare business.
And that is Venue 6 Warehouse.
Yep.
We like Warehouse, and that is also opening on July 17. Have you been here before?
This is my first time in Winnipeg. This is my first time performing at any Fringe festival anywhere. I just did a US tour of the show to some regional houses. Yeah. And so this is my first time performing in this format. I'm learning a lot. People have been very welcoming. Yeah. Patrick walked by my load-in because we're in the same building and carried a bunch of stuff in for me.
What a gentleman.
I know. Yeah. The vibes have been good. But I have no idea what to expect. And I think
you've got some Fringe connections, right?
I am here doing my show with another friend from Chicago. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So his name is Louis Rollinson. He's doing Nervous Breakdown in G minor. So we have an Airbnb. Our one friend is stage managing both shows. And that's all we know. Nice. So that's his first shows tonight, which is why I have to go there.
The world's your oyster.
The world is our oyster.
Yeah, your prairie oyster.
My prairie oyster. Yeah, the show.
He knows what that is.
Yeah. I have no idea what that means.
Prairie oyster is bull testicles.
Yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I've been watching too much Liver King.
Yeah. I'm from Indiana. Yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah, this show actually premiered in Indiana. This production premiered in Indianapolis, and then it went to Steppenwolf in Chicago, and Actors Theatre of Louisville, and in DC, and I think that's it. And this is the 5th city in a row.
That's it so far.
So far,
yeah.
Yeah.
International tour now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited.
Is that your French accent, or did you lose it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Every accent is my French. This is just how I talk.
Tell us about François. Tell us about what you're doing.
So this is a show that so I have a series of books. So the first book is called "There's Semen on the Poop Deck." It features me, François Le Foutre, on my ship, the Raging Queen. We get come upon by my arch nemesis and part-time lover, Captain Cocksmith Standish. So Cocksmith and his men come all over my Raging Queen, take all my seamen, stuff us in the forecastle. If you want to know more, you have to read the book.
So it's for kids.
It is,
yeah,
very much not for kids. So the show is basically a full contact reading of my books. So I read excerpts from the books, and I make people my my actors and/or set pieces. And yeah, it is a lot of fun. It is now officially an award-winning show. I've been doing it at Renaissance fairs since 2017. Yeah,
I've seen it.
right.
It's great. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I've seen his. His is great too. I'm not just saying that.
So you're a Renaissance Fair brat.
I am also a Ren Fair brat. Yes,
Yeah.
I've been doing Renaissance Fair since 2011, and this show was written in 2017. And yeah, and I've been touring it at Ren Fairs. This is also my first Fringe festival.
Sweet.
So.
Are there any Renaissance fairs in Canada?
Yes.
Where?
Somewhere in Ontario.
Okay.
Like, that's all I know. I know that it's a bit too far for me to get to, and there's 2 in Alaska. I know it's not in Canada, but there's that far north. There's only a couple.
Well, okay. So I was thinking maybe they didn't happen because it wasn't, it was too cold here. But Alaska must be colder.
They really only happened in the States.
Yeah.
Like I toured the Fringe Festival in Scotland and England, and you don't need a medieval fair there because it's already medieval.
Yeah.
But in Australia, there's one medieval festival, and they are very serious about it. Like my show would not work there. Definitely not. But
I think they do them in Europe though, don't they?
they do
I feel like
reenactments.
Germany, and like I feel like Germany has a lot of Renaissance.
They're just
fairs.
reenacting wars.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
different. That's different. So it was born in the States.
Yeah, it was
No
born
Renaissance
in
Fair,
in California, the Pleasure Fair in the late 60s.
Sorry, the Pleasure Fair. That
Yeah.
that just sounds like just a whole bunch of handies.
That is
reach arounds.
that is what the fair was
Yeah.
for a very long time. How rated is this? What can I say on here?
It's the internet.
Okay, so yeah, what I was told when I first joined is that the big dresses that everyone's wearing, and they'd be sitting on people's laps. They weren't sitting on their laps. Like everyone during the daytime was having fun, and everything was very risque at the time. And now things have gotten less and less that. Like I said, like my show is more family friendly. Your show is more how to make a family show. And mine's a family show, and I haven't seen yours, so I don't know exactly yet.
Mine is also like the most adulty show on the Renaissance Fair circuit that I know of.
I think so too.
I have been kicked out of many Renaissance festivals.
Really?
Yes.
like not accepted or like actually thrown out?
Oh,
in
no,
jury?
I've actually been kicked out of
You
Renaissance.
got kicked out
festivals.
just for selling your books.
Yeah.
That's a selling point for Fringe.
That
Don't
is,
worry.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that is true.
You have no
My
idea.
my books were banned by the Texas Renaissance Festival,
Oh.
and you have no idea what it takes to get banned by a Renaissance festival.
Well, is it? I mean, how many of those Renaissance festivals are in Trump country? Maybe
I
they're
mean-
getting more conservative. Who knows?
So the thing is, my experience is the more conservative the place, the better Renaissance festivals do. Like the better my show does,
Yeah.
and shows like ours
Yeah,
do at Renaissance festivals,
yeah.
because it's really like it's like a safe place for our
Freaks.
type-
The
for-
weirdos.
Also,
for the
it's-
weirdos. Yes.
It's very important to know, and that when you are on stage at the Ren Fair, I think the same thing here at Fringe, that we tour the Ren Fair circuit with a man, Brune,
Mhm.
and his tagline at the end for everything goes, for the past hour we've been sitting and laughing. It doesn't matter if you're conservative, if you're Democrat, doesn't matter if you're Christian, atheist, Muslim, doesn't matter if you're black, white, green, purple, doesn't matter what sexuality you are. We were all laughing together here in this moment, and it's so easy just to let that keep happening once we step back out into the real world. So I kind of try to avoid any political stuff when I'm on stage, just
Same.
because I don't want people to know what I actually think. I want them to know about the show and how we can all join in together and make an audience and make something really fun.
Mhm.
That whole thing you were saying, you asked how clean does it have to be, and you were going to tell this story about how raunchy this, 70s, and all you said was have fun. That was like the most. I thought you were just going to let it rip.
Oh no, I just
You just can't help yourself. You're just like, the kids might be watching.
yeah,
What about the kids? Won't somebody think of the children? That's what you're thinking, right?
yeah, try.
So tell them about the "I was there" pin.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Strap in, folks. Apply directly to the forehead. So at the festival,
strap on, folks.
yeah, the strapper. So several years ago, like people dress up for the Renaissance fairs, and people want to look sexy and people want to have fun, and people wear raccoon tails wherever they go. And there was one person that was wearing a raccoon tail, but it wasn't attached to their belt. It wasn't attached to their clothes, but it was attached somewhere else. And so
It was on a butt plug.
It was on a butt plug.
Yeah.
So I made
And she was wearing a skirt that maybe went to, can I use you? It maybe went to like here, right?
Yeah.
So you could see, like, anytime she like bent over or like reached up or like, stood up straight, you could see like the Daisy Duke underneath.
So I made
skirt.
commemorative pins of a fist going like this that's holding a raccoon butt plug that says 2019 Ren Fair, I was there. And because it was like the uncertain, like, did you see it? Did you talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, so nobody pulled it out.
She got kicked out.
She got kicked out.
I don't think she did get kicked out. I think there was like a thing that was like,
I don't know. I mean,
Honestly, work. It sounds like a look.
it was a look.
I feel like anatomically speaking, if you're trying to pull that off, a butt plug is the only place it could go, right? That's more or less where the tail would be, right?
yeah. So, and the thing is, I think if her skirt had been a little bit longer, I don't think anyone would have had a problem with it.
But yeah, we had people
Or
in
thought
our
about the mechanics.
Or
as
thought of
much.
right, or exactly right. But it was because you could like literally see her crack as she stood up.
Men are so dirty. Hey, well,
They are.
I just had my last interview was like 4 middle-aged white men. It was like men's therapy group.
Oh yeah.
It was big dad energy. Yeah. It was good. So your show has been around. People have loved it.
Yeah.
And what are people saying about it?
Yeah. I think people are having. So the show exists at sort of like the intersection of some Venn diagrams where we're talking about Shakespeare.
Like Venn diagrams.
Venn diagrams. We're talking about gender, and tarot is a big element of the show, and like ongoing metaphor. And so I feel like people have a lot of people have interest in one or more of those things, but few people feel like they are experts on all of those things. And I feel like what gender play is trying to do is both for like the people who are experts in Shakespeare and people who are neophytes with Shakespeare to like give them some sort of on-ramp. Same thing with discussions of gender, same things with these discussions of mysticism. So it's really immersive and hopefully engaging. And it seems like people are having a really fun time. And walking away feeling like they learned something but had a really good time doing it.
So it's infotainment.
It's I have not called it that, but my friends are out there calling it infotainment. And for me, it's like, it's taking Shakespeare's iconic characters and sort of reimagining them through a trans lens, because from the writing perspective, it was me testing, like, if these are universal stories, can I use these stories and these characters to tell my own story? Which obviously the answer is yes, but.
I'm going to stop right here for 2 seconds. Anybody who is watching on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, this is going to end. So to catch the rest of this, go to our YouTube page. It's The Valiant Theater 1761. Very catchy. And that's the YouTube handle. Maybe something happened in 1761. I should ask I guess that's later than the Renaissance stuff, right?
Yeah.
I should remember the War of 1761. Anyway, so come back and check us out and check out all the other interviews.
Cool.
Okay, there's our artificial pause.
1761 would be the ill-named Enlightenment.
Something like that.
Yeah.
For those of you who are still here, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on UMFM 101.5, we thank you. Here with Willhelm, François de Foutre, and Patrick Hercamp. We were talking about butt plugs and all other
Shakespeare, fake spear, and everything in between.
Yeah. Well, fuck spear, right? Isn't that kind of what you're doing? Fuck spear?
I mean, I don't do Shakespeare, actually. I'm the only one here that is not doing Shakespeare. But yeah, it is. I mean, there are sex scenes in my books. That was the reason why it was banned from the Texas Renaissance Festival for 10 years.
Yeah, like when we used to try to get crowds for some of my other shows, like when we did Hamlet and Juliet, when we mixed the two together. Like, it's a show about teenagers, yay, and sex, yay, and teenage sex, and then it's like, come see our show. It has artificial gopher insemination. And there's like one guy that goes, yeah. I'm like, all right, yeah. Hey, Dad.
Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to just catch up with you on something that we were talking about right before the fake break.
Yes.
And you were talking about the gender bending in Shakespeare. I mean, that's a whole thing, right?
Right. Yeah. So I feel like
the actors themselves,
of course. So the actors themselves, as we know, were all men or assigned male at birth, and they were performing characters of all genders. And because of the context, Shakespeare's plays were rooted in a practice of gender performativity, meaning we're performing the gender of the character that we're playing, which is something that we do as humans all the time. But I think that trans people and queer people have a more are doing that more consciously than everyone else. Not everyone understands that they are performing their gender in some way. And so gender play sort of kind of takes that conversation and applies it with contemporary vocabulary, because the way we understand the queer and trans experience is so different now and then. But, I think Shakespeare has been really sanitized in a lot of ways. I think it's been made to be a little white bread, a little stale, a little boring. And a lot of the really raunchy bits have been sifted out of it, especially how we perform it in America. I would assume that maybe Canada is similar in a lot of ways. And so, I think that gender play just sort of takes that glittery disco ball and re-highlights everything that was already there and reclaims it in a queer context.
In Shakespeare's time, what kind of idea did they have about gender?
Yeah, so the idea, queerness as we know it today did not exist at that time. Men were for sure having sex with men, but it wasn't considered an identity in a way. It was an action, a thing that you do, not a thing that you are.
Sure, yeah. I'm not gay, I just fuck guys. Yeah.
Literally. No, but I mean, there was no gay, whether or not you did.
You clock in at the brothel and you're like, all right.
Yeah. But the idea of men as bedfellows, especially young men, Shakespeare himself probably was such a common thing. There's a homoeroticism to daily life. And so these plays are so homoerotic. The audience that was seeing them for the first time knew that they were watching two men, one sort of in drag, fall in love, have these really intimate, beautiful scenes. And I think that was titillating to the audience. And so now, we've just gotten so many steps away from that because we think of Shakespeare as the most holy of classics. A lot of it is crass. A lot of it is quite dumb and bawdy. And so I think, the gender play is just attempting to create a bridge in that time-space continuum. And we literally summon the spirit of seance. Or I'm sorry, summon the spirit of Shakespeare via a seance.
So it's at the end of Twelfth Night, right? Where the one, whoever has been disguised as a woman or as a man the whole time, and suddenly a woman oh, well, now I love you. And I feel like we don't give enough credit for how
and it was a man playing that part.
Well, right. Yeah.
And it wasn't only Twelfth Night. That's the plot of 3 or 4 plays.
And she's the man.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Which was Twelfth Night.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but it's it's sort of along the lines of what you're saying, where people always sort of make fun of that bit,
right.
But I feel in a way, Shakespeare himself was making fun of that bit, right?
1000%.
Wasn't taking that seriously at all. It was meant to be sort of a parody of itself.
Right, because Orsino is telling Cesario the whole time, oh, you're so beautiful. If only you were this. If only you were this. They're having their whole romance.
Yeah.
And then the second it's socially acceptable, it's everyone's phew, thank God.
This my partner came out as trans non-binary a couple of years ago. And I'm a middle-aged white guy, cis dude, and it took me a while to wrap my head around it. But something that you said, this idea of gender as being performative, as not being this definitive thing,
right?
This whole thing that the president had to declare that there were two genders,
right?
and that whole kind of modern idea, and that whole kind of idea which seems to, I guess, be used to keep people in a box and to
Right.
keep people down, and it seems to have to do with
And it's a tool of the patriarchy.
Yeah,
because
right,
if there are
yeah.
only two
Yeah.
classes, then one
Yeah.
will be in power and one will be below.
Yeah. So, but once I kind of wrap my head around that, like, and also, I mean, if you've been a woman and you've been living in the world as a woman, and you don't like the way that the world treats you, and a bunch of shit has happened, and you get treated differently, and all this kind of stuff, like, because I kind of felt like my partner was saying, "Okay, I'm out.
Mm.
I'm not playing anymore."
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I sort of wrapped my noodle around it, and I was like, "Yeah, okay. I mean, if you don't want to have anything to do with that, because it's all even now, like, since we've been sort of in that space, like even now when you hear comics and they're like, oh well, women do this and all that whole stuff, and I just
Mhm.
now when I hear that I go, ugh, come on,
Yeah.
because it's just so I don't know, stale. And is that really what we're doing? Is that
Yeah.
what we are? Yeah.
And how you're describing like their experience of gender and rejecting that like feels reactive in some ways, which is really valid. And I think like I remember being a very young queer person, and like, the first round of coming out, I was like, okay, I guess I'm gay, whatever that means. And I spent a really long time working hard to expand the limits of masculinity to include something that felt like it was authentic to my experience,
Mhm.
especially as like a gay person. And I fought and I fought and I tried and I tried, and it was like a losing battle all the time and exhausting. And like you said, I was like, I don't know what I'm fighting for, what
Mhm.
space I'm fighting for, because the world at large, maybe not necessarily in queer community, but the world at large is really restrictive, really reductive of how you can and should behave as a man or can and should behave as a woman.
Mhm.
So still pretty young in my life, I also was like, I don't fit within this realm at all. And so I'm divesting my energy from trying to make myself fit. And that unlocked like every single door of who I know I am as a person, all of the art that I want to create, the community that I want to build, is really all through releasing myself from that societal pressure.
The scales fell from your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I know that that's just a codpiece, but it looks like you're holding your dick.
I kind of realized that at some point. I was like, yeah.
I mean, it's
just
fine if that's
Yeah. It's puffy.
It's
Yeah.
I
Puffy.
think I hope
touch it if
I
you
hope that you have access to some Canadian medical care, because I feel like it shouldn't be that puffy. But
Oh
anyway,
no, yeah, no, it's meant to be that puffy.
I'm not I'm not one to speak for what's between your legs. That's not absolutely not my business.
But something to touch on that Will said earlier, I wanted to talk about was the gender, like men playing female roles.
Yeah.
But the audience thought of it as it's performative. That's what it is. But it got to a point where it was performative in truth. Like you gave truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because for years, when I was a Sound and Theory, I played all the women's roles because Ryan in our group was 6'5", and Richard was the leading man in all of them. So I was, like in our show Testicles in the Sack of Rome, I was Queen Hernia, I was Queen Fallopia. But in all other Ren Fair shows that I'd seen like that, everyone played the women sort of like Monty Python. It was like,
Right.
oh, hello, oh, I'm a lady. Oh.
And then we're laughing at femininity altogether.
And so my degree is in physical theater. And when I graduated from college, I was about your size. And I moved in a certain way when I took on the roles. And I gave it, this is how a woman moves. This is how a woman talks. This is how like it should be performed on stage. It's not so like, I mean, Kids in the Hall were much better at it than Monty Python, even though Monty Python's hilarious and like they're kings of comedy for a lot of people, and for me too. But yeah, we lost in a way the truthness of it to see this performance. It can still be funny, just make your words funnier, make the jokes funnier. Don't have it be like, oh, no one's laughing at me. I got to hit myself in the face with a pie all of a sudden just to get that laugh out when you could have said something very clever and then hit yourself in the face with a pie. But anyway, something you said, Amy, go on that little tangent.
François, what do you think about gender? Is someone sitting there holding his big swollen dick?
Oh gosh, so I try to avoid getting political as much as possible, when I'm doing what I'm doing for for much of the same reasons that Patrick was talking about earlier. So one of the other shows that I'm in, not François, but my identical twin cousin David. One of the shows that David is in. Like we have. Oh, actually, never mind, not that show. But there are other shows on the fair circuit that have like a very strong, strict no politics rule, right? And the reason is when people show up here, they want to stay away from that.
Stage Patrick is not the same as Patrick.
But I guess
art is political, isn't it?
Art is political, yeah.
Well, sure, and I but I guess it's sort of in a way it's already doing that, but without calling attention to it, right? Mm-hmm. Like what I'm doing, because I sort of kind of like what Patrick was just talking about. I am what I am. I'm doing what I'm doing, right? I don't I don't especially want to call attention to the politics of it. Just here's a great example. When I first started doing this character. When my identical twin cousin first started doing this character,
he's having trouble. We're only 25 minutes in.
It was part of a combat show, right? And so people like to describe it as WWE with swords. And in that show, like where was I going with this? What were we talking about? God, I completely lost my train of thought. Hang on, come back. We're talking about
whether art is inherently political.
Yeah. So, for instance, like the stage version of me is different than Patrick that you're going to meet on the street. When I put on my outfit, it's like armor for me, and like my feet turn out, and it's my clown, and like I walk around a bit dopier. My voice goes up about an octave. I never knew it did, but it does. It just naturally does. And I dumb myself down, and I will make mistakes on stage. I will say the wrong thing. But if you talk to me afterwards, and I'm like, I know it was a mistake. I know because I chose that. And so people, what I'm getting at is people aren't going to think Patrick's really that stupid. Mm-hmm. And same way that like if I make a crass joke on stage because we're doing a Greek play, like I don't think that in the real world, like at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think people know to separate like artist from character for sure. But I do think that your question is valid because, like, in that, I don't think the queer experience necessarily needs to be political, but it has been politicized.
Oh, so yeah. Like that's thank you. That's like exactly what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Right?
So I feel like walking through the streets in a new place and like being a visibly queer or visibly gender nonconforming person, like I'm clocking how people are receiving me, whether that's through intrigue or confusion or disgust or nothingness. But like the world around me makes my experience political. I don't really have control of that. I think all I can do is like be a conduit to what's being imposed on me.
So, I mean, I saw you and I just clocked Fringe performer. like you can spot us a mile away. But,
I
think
sorry, go ahead.
So I remembered where I was going with that before was so the design of the show is that people would vote on who on who fights who, and then they would vote on who the winner was, right? Mm. And there were 4 of us, and my character absolutely destroyed everyone else, right? And so it was one of these things where it's like everybody absolutely loved the character. Everybody connected. I'm taking my François hat off. So everybody absolutely loved the character. Everybody connected with the character. And when I started paying attention and looking out at who like wasn't having a good time, it was not the queer people thinking, oh, he's making a stereotype, right? It was the bigots who were so upset that people were enjoying this thing. Mm-hmm. Like they were the ones that were not, and they were the only ones sitting there not having a good time. So anyway, no, I'm back.
Clark Kent should have been using that the whole time. Something like we did like improv moments on our stage show where we don't know what we're going to be saying, but it'll be on a topic that we'll make a dirty joke about. And one was a joke about Trump, and It was like a sex joke. It was like, sex with me is like Trump. It didn't get the popular vote. Sex with me is like Trump. It looks bigger in these hands. But then I made a joke about Hillary as well. And I said, oh, I made a bunch of jokes about Hillary, but I emailed them to François, and then François tried to email it, and they got lost in the emails. And we had people at the end of the show who stopped coming to our show because we made a Trump joke, but didn't take in the fact that we also made one for the other side of the line. I was like, I was making jokes for both sides. I was. And they didn't care at all. And they never came back to the show ever again. And this was a show they had seen for like 10 years in a row.
You can lose them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't please everyone. I ask my friends this all the time. Like, should a good artist have enemies? And I'm mostly joking, but I'm like, I don't need every single person to love what I do. Actually, if no one hates what I do, I feel like I'm not swinging big enough.
You just don't want them to love your enemy more.
Say that again.
So you can have enemies, but you don't care if fans and people love what you do.
Yeah.
But you will hate it if they love what he does.
Sure. No, and I guess I don't mean enemies as in rival performers, but I'm like, is it okay for people to walk out of your show and be like, I hated that, or I was uncomfortable?
I am 100% clear that my show is not for everyone.
Yeah,
and that means you got an
part of it.
emotion out of them.
Yeah.
Whether it's sorry it wasn't good, you got something out of it. So like, I was bored. Like we had.
Well, bored to me is like a non-event, but to have like a physical.
Well, you squeezed 10 years out of those people that decided they didn't like.
Oh
you,
yeah,
so
but
you got your money's worth.
The first time we did a show in Los Angeles, everybody's laughing. It's a sold-out show, and we got a 1-star review. We also got 2 5-star reviews from the same show, but we talked to the crowd that we knew, and like, oh yeah, the reviewer was asking, he's like, why were you laughing? Why were you laughing? And he just hated it. Didn't get it at all. It's probably because I called him a bullfrog at the beginning of the show because he looked like a bullfrog. So he probably just hated me from the beginning. But how can you sit in a show where everybody's laughing and think that the show's bad and not your sense of humor? Like,
so I did I was at a film festival a number of years ago, and I pitched this as a TV
pitching right
series.
now.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, here we go. It goes up. So I pitched this whole thing as a TV series, right? As part of a pitch competition. I did it twice. At the first one, I was 2 points off of advancing into the finals, right? I think the high score was like 60 or something, and I got 58 or something like that. The next time I did the exact same pitch, I scored 5 points lower than the person who was so nervous that he literally couldn't speak. And exact same pitch, right? Just 2 different people, right? And the second people didn't like it. They felt like they were being conned because I was doing it in character or whatever it was. So,
but this is why, I do this every year. I used to do it on the radio at CQW, and I've done it for years. Last year we did 17 hours and 65 people, artists, creators, and every year when I try to get my media pass, they say, well, where are your show reviews? So then I have to explain to them every year that I don't review shows, that we do this. Because to me, sit here and you're going to say, this is who I am. Look at me. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm doing it. And then people are going to decide whether they like you or not. From looking at you here, they don't have to pay their $13, as opposed to like a reviews it's art is so subjective, right?
Right.
And you get these people, these fringe reviewers, going to see 7 shows in a day. And you're just cranky and you don't like something. And I do think that in your review, if everybody's laughing but you, in your review, you should
point that out.
You need to reflect that, because I feel like
this is a good festival size-wise, because there were some like Edinburgh, there's 3,000 shows almost competing.
Yeah.
And within a month, and like I said, Adelaide is 1,500 shows competing in a month, and you pay to get in.
Yeah.
And you do a box office split, and it's a lot of work. And I got very blessed with the people that showed me Fringe, like Richard Meritzer, Shelby Bond, Sound and Fury, so on and so forth, because they'd been doing it and they broke the code. So like we won the People's Choice Award 3 times at this festival. But when you have that many shows, your journalists are spread thin, And so they're like, all right, our paper needs to go review this show, this show, this show, this show. And there was a show from Australia called The Disney Princesses. Amazing show, like cracked. It was awesome. Love it. Got a horrible review because the reviewers sent their guy from like ammo, like guns and ammo, something to go review a Disney princess show.
Yeah.
And
Not a match.
yeah, and it's like, why would you send him to that? Of course he's not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And then they'll might send like home, like not a stereotype, the different articles and all that, but you're not gonna send someone who does like crocheting weekly to go see, you know, this mud wrestling like men bodybuilding show. You know, I mean, I guess you would, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
One of the problems with Fringe reviews is they're trying to do them all so fast. I mean, they're trying to get them out by Saturday or Sunday or whatever. So then they have to send a bunch of people out. So you sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't, you know, as Donald Trump might say, they don't send their best people, right? Sometimes you get whoever, you know, sometimes you get somebody because some of the, I know some of the CBC reviewers here people love, and some of them just, oh yeah, I hate that guy. I hate that guy. Why is this, you know?
one of my favorite CBC reviewers has not like, I love the way that he writes. I'm not going to say the name because, but we got very blessed years ago, and they wrote us personally and said, they've given us 5 stars in the past, and said, I personally didn't like this show, and I don't want to post a bad review for you guys because I like they liked us,
right?
And they liked our stuff we did in the past. And he goes, I could tell the people around me enjoyed it, like just we were talking about a second ago. He said, but knowing that a 1-star review for our show that normally gets 5 would have been devastating to our sales, our mental health, and everything. Because that's what I mean. A lot of people just look at them as like, oh, it's a review, it's a star. But like, if you're new to it and you're not used to taking criticism or learning from it, it can break you. Like,
no, it literally it takes money out of your pocket. Years ago, what year was it? It was like 2010 or somewhere around there. Somebody had done a show about the financial crisis, and the reviews were so bad, and it was kind of complicated, you know. And they actually called ahead to is Victoria after Winnipeg?
a couple months after. Yeah.
Oh, I remember they actually changed it. They changed it for one of the next ones that they were going to one of their old shows because, you know, the reviews had been so bad, and then just nobody wanted to see it. And I mean, they just had to abandon it. You know, it was, so I mean, that was a complete loss for that.
Were you around for the phone book show that year? So this show has so many amazing shows in it. Somebody figured out it was cheaper for them to put on a show at the festival and get a pass and go see shows than to buy tickets to the shows.
Yeah.
So they put on a show called Patrick Reads the Phone Book, and the audience would buy tickets to come in there, and you'd just be reading the phone book saying, Adam Anderson, Adam Amberson, Adam Asterson, and then eventually, like after 5 minutes, and the audience realizes this is the show, they'd get up and leave, and he goes, all right, and then he would go see 6 shows in a day until Sound and Fury and old Patrick came along, and we sat through the whole thing, and it'd be like, Bob Barrowin, yeah, Bob! And like we made him do the entire thing, and we started telling people like, oh, you gotta go see this show, and it was just making the guy for
I'm
an hour.
sure people thought it was performance art.
Oh.
Was this a Winnipeg person?
Wait,
That was a Winnipeg person.
weren't you the one that was doing like a guy in a gorilla costume?
Nobody knows who does the gorilla show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
What's the gorilla show?
I'll
Like,
tell you later.
Yeah, you have to
I can
go.
tell you about it.
Yeah,
The show is called a young man dresses as a gorilla, dresses as an old man, sits in a rocking chair for 56 minutes, and then leaves. That's the show. The show starts, people show up, sells out. Nobody knows who the gorilla is. It's never the same gorilla. It's been done all over the world. And at 56 minutes, that gorilla gets up and leaves. But the thing is, the audience is the show. Because I've seen it before. I saw it in a 500-seat venue in Edinburgh, Scotland, like in a huge venue, and people were coming in drunk off the street, like, and they're like, "What is this? Is this art?" And then the performers there was like, "I don't know, is it? What is art?" And it's like, "It's not this." Like, why isn't it? And like,
So someone is speaking from the gorilla suit.
no, the gorilla doesn't do anything. This is just the crowd. So like, I'm way in the back, like seat 200, and then just some drunk guys come in, being like, "What the hell is this going on?" It's like, "Oh, it's a show. What is that? All he does?" Like, well, I mean, that's what the poster said.
Yeah.
But then you see, like one person will go down on the stage and like try to feed him a beer, and it's like, "Boo, leave him alone." And then like the gorilla's hat fell off because he's dressed like an old man. So then the guy picked up and put the hat back on, and all of a sudden 500 people go, "Yeah!" And the guy takes the hat off. "Boo! Yeah! Boo! Yeah! Boo! Yeah!" And then one person somewhere starts going, "More hats! More hats!" And every hat in that crowd ended up on the stage on top of the gorilla.
That's so funny.
And I've seen it done.
If that's not art, I don't know what
And it's happened here in Winnipeg a couple times. Like I did a show with a man named John Bennett called Patrick Hercamp and John Bennett, and a new show but different. All of John and Pat's Trainwreck Shows idea that we never got to do all in one night, and we gave the audience a menu, and they had kazoos that if they didn't like it, they could blow on it. But one of the things was the gorilla, and so they chose that, and we told our audience at the beginning, like, we will give you a refund if you hate the show, because this is all of our Trainwreck ideas, and they wanted to do that, so I said, "All right, I'm going to leave." I go out the door, and John Bennett gets an audience all the way from the main hub and walks them Pied Piper, about 100 people, down the street, past the King's Head to a secret pub, or a secret venue. And they go there, and the gorilla comes out, dressed as an old man, sits in a rocking chair. About halfway through the show, I finally came in from the back because I was busy doing stuff. And so I wasn't a gorilla, but the audience lost it because they
assumed you were.
They assumed I was.
Yeah.
But that made a whole thing. We had balloons that got blown up. We're throwing. People brought bananas on the way over. They had stopped and bought them. And that's a show where it's performance piece and the audience is the art. And yeah.
So you guys started it?
No, I don't know who started it.
Okay.
Started.
So that was just that was one of your options.
That was just one of our options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to go see? Now you have to say, "Well, I want to see his and I want to see his."
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
So
After I
obviously,
see y'all's show.
I want to see my show to work, so I want to make sure that it works first.
So tonight I'm going to see Plan V, which is in the same venue that I'm in. It's at the Asper Center, and it is another sex positive adult content type show. The poster features somebody who is naked and suggestively covered, and so
and just covered with a raccoon tail.
she's covered with the letter V.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah.
The problem when you've been coming to the Fringe so long is you make friends, and so like there's so many people I want to see. Like I need to see Adam Bailey. I need to see Chase Patch. I need to see Paco.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Penny Ashton in years, and desperate to see her show. But then you have like Jem Rolls, who's a Fringe legend that you have to go see. Keith and his magic show, Tim Motley and his magic show. Like there's shows that I have not seen, not just because I talked to you first, so I didn't know your show had Shakespeare elements to it. Now clearly it does. So I need to see that. The improvised Shakespeare I really want to see. And there's it's Shakespeare Say It.
Yeah, I just met her.
Yeah.
I really want to see that.
Yeah.
Just based on how I read it, I'm curious.
Yeah, it seems really cool. Maybe I'll see that.
So yeah, there's tons of shows.
Will, what do you want to see?
There's a lot of them.
I'll definitely be seeing Shakespeare Say It. And I'm about to go see Nervous Breakdown that my friend Lewis is doing. And I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna try to hit a blend between like all of the people who have been out here doing Fringe, and also I want to go around and like support as many first-time Fringers as I can. Not only because I am one, but because I'm curious to see like what people do when they don't know what to expect. I will say the title that I'm most excited by, I do not know this person, I just keep seeing this poster, is a one-person, potentially comedic Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
She's very funny.
Yeah.
She's a Winnipeg improv person. She's
Great.
funny, yeah.
I mean, Slay title. You got me.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Macho Man poster.
Yeah, and I had him on too, and he's Jeff Hughes, a local guy, and he's all in on the Macho Man.
Okay.
Great.
So yeah, he wants it. He's said after Fringe, he's gonna turn it into a one-man Macho Man empire. I don't know if he's doing something.
He sounded like
sounded
Macho Manitoban.
He sounded a bit nuts.
Sounds
honestly.
like the same kind of thing.
But this is funny because to me there's like three bags of things. There's like the shows that you want to go see, and then there's the shows that your friends are in that you want to go see, and then there's the shows that your friends are in that you have to go see, but you don't really want to see, but you know that they're going to know if you're not there.
Yeah.
So this is a John Bennett quote that I say at the end of all my shows, unless I'm at a festival where he's also at. That go support live theater. Go see a show that's getting 5 stars across the board. You'll like it. Go see a show that got a 1-star review because maybe the critic was having a bad day, maybe the critic didn't get it, and you might enjoy it. But if you go see a show that has 5 stars across the board, amazing. You'll talk about it for a few weeks with your friends. If you see a 1-star show and you like it, awesome. You gave the show a chance. But if it really is a 1-star show, you get the opportunity to talk about it for the rest of your life. You'll never forget it. So yeah.
Well, we're still talking about the phone book show, obviously.
Yeah.
And we didn't get into the mayonnaise show.
Oh yeah, well the mayonnaise show. How come you don't say that if John Bennett is around?
Oh, because he uses
said
it
it first.
He uses it in his show.
I thought there was going to be some John Bennett.
no,
I
in there.
will. So at some of the shows that I do, I'll use the free beer, hot men, and false advertising joke, but I won't do it if he's around.
Oh, okay.
Because that's his joke.
Because you've stolen it, but it's fine if he's not there.
That's the sort of
That seems.
Also,
fair.
we've talked about that. Like,
Well, and also we've performed together, and so we've done it together. You sort of stuff starts to blend a little bit. So
It's shtick.
yeah.
It's shtick, and really, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, right?
well, it's things that you get mad that you didn't think of for sure.
Right.
Like I saw a show. This is in the Ren Fair. It's almost like busking. Like we asked for tips
Yeah.
and stuff. And this comedian that's doing a show not like mine, but it had like magic elements to it. And he held up a bucket that said tips on it, and he goes, "Please leave what you can in here. Please don't read it backwards because it says spit." And I go, "I'm so mad.
I didn't think of that.
Over years. Didn't think of that.
Like the concept of Spice Boys. I'm so upset that I didn't think of that. That's such a brilliant concept.
Yeah. Well,
So that's a growing Ren Fair show that has 5. It's a Ren Fair pirate boy band.
Cute.
called
And
Spice Boys.
called the Spice Boys, and their names are parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, black pepper, and the black one is called Black Pepper. And and I'm like, I'm so mad that I didn't
And
think
it's
of it.
doing so well. They're doing cruise lines. They're headlining shows, and they talked to me about it years ago. And I can't sing, but I can perform. And I was like, that's a dumb idea for I'm not going to do that show. Like, and man, am I eating crow?
And it's a young man's show, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your I asked Jim Rawls what his exit plan was, and he said he was going to die on stage.
Oh, he said that for years.
and then
said that when
he named somebody who died on stage.
Oh,
I don't.
It's a French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your plan? They're going to drag you up by your feet.
Oh, I'll probably be in wheels by then. I don't know. Hopefully I'm at a farm someday and I'm just writing and able to give my shows to other people to do. Because my shows take a lot of energy. Like I'm covered in sweat by the end of it. Like, and because it's Hamlet or the Scottish play in 30 minutes or less. I mean, just really, and I look like one of those 1970s football games when I'm on stage. Like I just vibrate across the floor. So it is getting harder and harder for me to do.
You need to find a team of little Patricks.
I'll ask Shelby Bond to come back because he never ages, and then he can do it.
He's maybe he's Pinocchio or something. How about you?
Oh gosh,
David François.
Exit plan. I don't know. It's a thing that I've been thinking about because I'm like, I'm getting to the age where I'm starting to think about how much longer can I do this before it's creepy.
Ooh.
And I'm not, and I know that I'm not there yet. I mean, it's creepy for some people anyway, but it's always been creepy for some people.
This watch is 2 years too fast.
Yeah, and I know I'm not there yet, and I'm also, fortunate that I look younger than I am. So I'll probably be able to do it.
Not
for a
up
little
close,
while longer,
but from a few feet away. So, you like that?
but yeah, I kind of want to die like on top of a mountain, looking down on the clouds. I don't know.
I won't ask you
cocaine
this
reference?
question because
No.
you're too young.
Mhm.
You've got everything in front of you. You're just starting out. You're just full of pith and vinegar. Is that a thing or no?
Yeah.
Tips and vinegar.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was going to ask the question to be rephrased because I didn't understand it, so I'll just say pass. I'm so sorry. I have to go run to see Lewis's
Oh,
show.
it's your thing. It's your thing.
But I don't want to break up the conversation.
Well, you know
I
what?
will just exit.
We're done. Thank you so much. We're gonna go so that Will can get to the show. We have got Patrick Hercamp over there, Fake Spears, Macbeth over at Son of Warehouse, Venue 5.
Yep.
We have got Raunchy Romp with the Raging Queen, opening July 17 at Asper Center, and that is our friend François here. And then the lovely and talented Willhelm, Gender Play or What You Will, and that is Shakespeare's coming out July 17, and that happens over somewhere. Did I say Venue 6 Warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for all the rest of the Fringe stuff right here. Thank you. Art will save us all.
Yes! Cheers.